Céline Dion is a French-Canadian singer known for her power ballads, including the Academy Award-winning theme song My Heart Will Go On from the 1997 film Titanic. A star from a young age, Dion had recorded 9 French albums and won numerous awards by the time she was 18. She delivered her first English-language album, Unison, in 1990. Dion's real breakthrough into pop music stardom came in 1992 when she recorded the theme to Disney's hit animated feature Beauty and the Beast. Her #1 hits include The Power of Love, Because You Loved Me, and I'm Your Angel. Early life and French albums. Céline Marie Claudette Dion was born on March 30, 1968, in Charlemagne, Canada. The youngest of 14 children of Adhemer and Therese Dion, she grew up in a close-knit musical family. Her parents formed a singing group, Dion's Family, and they toured Canada when Céline was still an infant. They later opened a piano bar, where 5-year-old Céline would perform to the delight of customers. At the age of 12, Dion recorded a demo tape of a song she wrote with her mother. They sent the tape to the manager and producer René Angelil, who handled the career of popular French singer Jeanette Reno. After hearing the tape and inviting Dion to perform for him in person, Angelil signed her immediately under the condition that he would have complete control over her career. He mortgaged his own home to finance her debut album, La Voix du Bon Dieu. By 18, Dion had recorded 9 French albums and won numerous Félix and Juno Awards, the Canadian equivalent of a Grammy Award. In 1988, she won the Eurovision Song Contest in Dublin, and her performance was broadcast live in countries throughout Europe, the Middle East, Australia, and Japan. After this taste of international acclaim, she began looking to the South and American stardom. American breakthrough, Beauty and the Beast. Dion recorded her first English-language album, Unison, in 1990. Like most of her English-language albums, it was a collaboration with the songwriter-arranger-musician David Foster. Driven by the top 5 single Where Does My Heart Beat Now, Unison sold more than 1 million copies worldwide. Dion's real breakthrough into pop music stardom came in 1992, when she recorded the theme to Disney's hit animated feature Beauty and the Beast, a duet with Peabo Bryson. The song, Beauty and the Beast, made it to #9 on the Billboard Hot 100 and won both a Grammy and an Academy Award. It was featured on her second English album, Céline Dion, which became her first gold record in the United States and sold more than 12 million copies internationally. Another hit from the album If You Ask Me To made it to #4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and #1 on the Adult Contemporary chart. The undeniable success of her self-titled effort allowed Dion to launch her first headlining tour in the United States. Dion quickly capitalized on her newfound fame, releasing the top-selling The Color of My Love in 1993. The album showcased the romantic power ballads that Dion had become known for, including When I Fall in Love, which was featured on the soundtrack for the hit film Sleepless in Seattle, and The Power of Love, her first single to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Dion's international stardom was solidified by her performance of The Power of the Dream at the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta. That same year, her album Falling Into You, including the #1 hit Because You Loved Me, from the soundtrack to Robert Redford's sentimental 1996 film, Up Close and Personal, won Grammy Awards for Album of the Year and Best Pop Album. Personal life. As the youngest of 14 children, Dion grew up wearing hand-me-downs and sharing a bed with several sisters. As a baby, she slept in a drawer to save on a crib. She was bullied at school and called vampire, owing to her teeth and skinny frame. Local tabloids even dubbed her Canine Dion in the teenage years of her career. She often spoke of running home from school to play music in the basement with her brothers and sisters. I detested school, she would later write in her autobiography. I had always lived surrounded by adults and children a lot older than me. I learned everything I needed to know from them. As far as I was concerned, real life existed around them. Dion's eldest sister was already in her 20s, married, and pregnant with her first child at the time. Dion's mother, Therese, was pregnant with Céline. Dion first met René Angelil, her future husband and manager, in 1980, when she was 12 and he was 38, after her brother, Michel Dondelinger Dion, had sent him a demonstration recording of a song she, her mother Therese, and her brother Jacques Dion had jointly written. Over subsequent years, Angelil guided her to stardom in francophone territories. After the dissolution, around 1985, of Angelo's second marriage, he and Dion took a break from each other professionally, and he spent the major part of the year in Las Vegas, while Dion was learning English and taking dance and vocal lessons in Montreal. Upon his return, he avoided being alone with me for too long a time, she said in her 2000 autobiography My Story, My Dream. Meanwhile, she kept a photo of Angelo under her pillow, later writing, "Before I fell asleep, I slipped it under the pillow, out of fear that my mother, who always shared a room with me, would find it." She also wrote, "Less and less could I hide from myself the fact that I was in love with Renee. I had all the symptoms, and I was in love with a man I couldn't love, who didn't want me to love him, who didn't want to love me." Dion's mother, who traveled everywhere with her until she was 19, was initially wary of her growing infatuation with a much older and twice-divorced Angelo, but Dion was insistent, telling her mother, "I'm not a minor. This is a free country. No one has the right to prevent me from loving whoever I want to." Their professional relationship eventually turned romantic after Dion's win at the Eurovision Song Contest in Dublin in 1988. She was 20. The romance was known to only family and friends for 5 years, though Dion nearly revealed all in a tearful 1992 interview with journalist Lise Payette. Many years later, Payette penned the song Je cherche l'ombre for Dion's 2007 album Dels. On January 14, 2016, Angelo died at age 73 of throat cancer. His funeral was held on January 22, 2016, in Notre Dame Basilica in Montreal, where he and Dion wed 21 years earlier. The couple's eldest son René Charles gave the eulogy 3 days before his 15th birthday. Following Angelo's death, Dion became the sole owner and president of her management and production companies, including CDA Productions and Les Productions Feeling. 2 days after Angelo's death, on what would have been her husband's birthday, one of Dion's brothers, Daniel, died at age 59, also of cancer. On March 22, 2018, Dion's management team announced that she had been dealing with hearing irregularities for the previous 12 to 18 months due to patchless eustachian tube and would undergo a minimally invasive surgical procedure to correct the problem after eardrop medications appeared to be no longer working. In December 2022, Dion disclosed that she had been diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, a neurological disorder affecting her muscles. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.